Hello students, I hope you have heard the name of Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus is the person who discovered a sea route to America. When the Ottoman Turks seized Constantinople in 1453, the Europeans had to find a sea route to India for spices. So, many kings and queens of Europe patronized the sailors to discover a sea route to India. So, under the patronage of the King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain, Columbus set out to discover a sea route to India with 50 seamen. Columbus was a man of strong willpower. He decided not to return till he would discover a sea route to India. He first saw the light of the New World, that is America, on the night of 11th October 1492. Before he could achieve this great feat, he was often at open defiance with his crew. Columbus and his crew sailed from Spain for many days, but they could not find any new land. Children, let me ask you a question. How do you feel if you are away from your parents for a long time? You want to go home and meet your parents, don't you? Likewise, the sailors were homesick and were desperate of the journey, except Columbus. So, the sailors thought of revolting against Columbus and even killing him. Based on this, the play The Discovery, written by Herman Oud, builds up a conflict of great imagination. So, let us know how this conflict is resolved through this video. First and foremost, let us know the characters of the play. There are 7 main characters in the play, namely Christopher Columbus, the captain of the ship the Santa Maria; Pedro Gutierrez, an officer in the ship; Pepe, a page boy. Page boy means a servant boy. Juan Patino, Diego Garcia, Francisco, Guillermo Iris, and other seamen. The play The Discovery begins with a song sung by the drunken seamen.
Yes, is a dead from. Yes, is a dead from. To kingdom come. To kingdom come. The devil laughs. The devil laughs. What God is done. What God is done.
The song conveys the dissatisfaction and angry mood of seamen. Juan and Diego are seen working and talking. We can see how desperate they are when Diego says to Pedro,
"We are like bats trying to fly by day. It's time he gave way. Why should one man have the lives of 50 in his hands?"
Then Columbus enters. When he sees Diego and Pedro talking, he suspects them and tells Diego to put the candle on the foremast right. Diego goes in a fury. When Pedro and Columbus are alone, the song of the seamen is heard again. Pedro defends the drunken seamen by saying that they are simple men and they need relaxation. Columbus scolds Pedro, saying that it is his will to continue the voyage. Later, he feels sorry for his uncontrolled tongue. He calls his tongue as his worst enemy. Then he sends Pedro to order the seamen stop singing. When Columbus is alone, he thinks that God has implanted the desire to solve the mysteries in him, and so God would provide the solution. According to Columbus, it is God's will to find new lands and he should fulfill it. As Columbus was thinking about this, he hears the footsteps and is frightened. And Pepe, the page boy, appears before him. When Columbus asks Pepe why he is not down below, Pepe replies that he prefers the company of Columbus to others. Pepe warns Columbus about the sailors and tells him to be careful as they all are desperate. The song of the seamen is heard again. It is heard as a growl now, and Pedro returns to Columbus. Seeing him coming, Columbus tells Pepe to go away from there. Pedro says to Columbus that the seamen ignore his order. Just at that time, Columbus finds that someone was hiding. Columbus calls him out, but he doesn't come out. But Pepe comes out saying,
He said, the Santa Maria will be the lighter for his carcass.
Hearing this, Columbus becomes angry, and Francisco comes out saying sorry. Columbus orders him to bring Guillermo to him, which he openly refuses. So Columbus tells Pedro to send Guillermo to him. Just then, Guillermo and other seamen rush in an angry mass towards Columbus. When Columbus stops them, Guillermo says that they want to go back to Spain and calls Columbus a devil. Other seamen also support him, but Columbus says that it was his duty to obey the king and queen of Spain as they have sent him, and the seamen's duty is to obey him as he is their captain. The authoritative manner of Columbus holds the seamen. But Diego comes forward to kill Columbus when Pepe runs towards Columbus and stands with his arms spread out. He tells the seamen to kill him first before killing Columbus. Pepe's declaration calms the murderous rage of the sailors. Seeing this, Columbus tells all why he wants to continue the voyage.
Pepe, this is a voyage of discovery. I set out to discover a new world, a radiant land beyond unknown seas, to find new wealth and dominion for a sovereign king and queen, new souls for the sacrifice of a Savior to redeem. So far, I have discovered but one thing. I have discovered that when a man is given a vision, he must follow it alone. Loyalty passes like seaweed on an outgoing tide. Friendship breaks as a mast hollowed by worms breaks. Discipline, duty, and honorable obedience are bubbles that burst at the first contact. There remains but one self. That is my only discovery so far, Pepe. That is my only discovery.
The words of Columbus make the seamen feel ashamed of their deeds. Yuan says that they all are simple men who cannot make proper judgment. Guillermo, who was ready to kill Columbus earlier, says that they may wait for another day. Columbus answers them all tactfully, and they all return to their duties. At last, Columbus sees some flickering light which gives them renewed enthusiasm, and they stop the ship to sail towards the land. Thus, the ending of the play becomes a happy one.